What is gaslighting and how to deal with it? Gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation typically used by narcissists, sociopaths, and psychopaths. You've definitely heard the term before, but you may not fully understand how it works or whether anyone you know has been using it on you. Gaslighters essentially distort your perception of reality. They make you doubt your own abilities, recollections, and even sanity. When you've been duped, you typically have the feeling that something is wrong with you, but you're not sure what or why. Here are some of the techniques used by gaslighters to confuse and influence you. They lie to you. No. 1. Gaslighters are pathological liars who lie on a regular basis. They will tell outright lies and then insist on telling the truth despite overwhelming proof to the contrary. You can't persuade them to tell the truth. In fact, they will assert that any evidence you present is false. They are so convinced of their lies that they might induce you to doubt objective truth. They will insist on their truth and will be highly persuasive in doing so. They have the ability to keep you bewildered and off balance. Even when they don't deceive you, you may be left with the feeling that they are completely sincere, even if their viewpoint or perception is clearly incorrect. Number 2, they tarnish your reputation. Gaslighters may detect those who will take their side regardless of the situation. They then enlist these people to attack you by spreading false accusations about your character or even your sanity. They may even express concern for you and suggest to others that your behavior is troubling. This method has the potential to be incredibly effective. The gaslighter will attract allies while keeping them in the dark about what is really going on by beginning and then dominating the narrative. They may even tell you that others believe there is something wrong with you, despite the fact that others may not be saying anything at all. Unfortunately, a gaslighter can be quite convincing, and this can ruin your relationships. Number 3, they divert your attention away from the main topic. When you ask a gaslighter a question or try to hold them accountable for something they've said or done, don't be surprised if they change the subject without answering. They will frequently either ask you a question to divert your attention or accuse you of something. A gaslighter will usually respond by stating that they never stated what you accused them of saying. They will accuse you of misremembering or hallucinating things, or they will claim that you got the idea from your crazy buddies. Number 4, they make fun of your thoughts and feelings. A gaslighter may attempt to acquire control of you by dismissing your emotions and thoughts. They will accuse you of being excessively sensitive or of having flawed mental processes. "Don't you think you're getting too emotional?" is a common statement. Or "How in the world could you think something so stupid?" They neutralize any point of view or argument you make by trivializing you. This can cause you to doubt yourself and the validity of your own thoughts and feelings. You may eventually lose confidence and even self-esteem, leaving you subject to their mental control. Number 5, they shift blame. Gaslighters enjoy shifting blame to others. If you notice someone repeatedly manipulating a conversation to blame you, that person is most likely a natural gaslighter. These individuals are not satisfied with facts. If you try to simply express how they are making you feel, a gaslighter will interpret your words in order to blame you for how you feel. They are so skilled at this that you may begin to believe that your bad behavior is the result of their bad behavior. They even tell you that if you behave differently, they would treat you better. 6. They deny doing anything wrong. Gaslighters never do anything wrong and are never held accountable for anything that goes wrong. They avoid taking responsibility when they make a terrible mistake or fail at something. They will not admit that their acts have caused you pain. Gaslighters never apologize. This behavior aggravates and frustrates victims, who are left wondering what they did to deserve such treatment. As a result, these victims frequently find it difficult to overcome their injured feelings. They turn compassion into a weapon. Number 7. When cornered, gaslighters will try to win your sympathy and understanding. However, they employ caring words as a sort of attack. They may say something like, "How could you think I would ever intentionally injure you? You know how much I adore you." It appears to be an apology, but it is actually an allegation. It is not legitimate, and you will be dissatisfied with it even if you are unaware of why. Number 8, they reframe and twist conversations. This one is very popular among gaslighters when discussing a former event. They may, for example, reframe a conversation in which they pretend you gave them permission to spend your money. They know it never happened, and you know it never happened. However, if you approach them about it, they will simply embellish the story. They'll describe how they questioned you while you were doing the dishes and you said it was all right. Gaslighters, like their other strategies, strive to confuse you and make you question your own memories and views. Number 9, they use what you value against you. Gaslighters are aware of what is essential to you. Therefore, they frequently target it first. For example, you may be proud of a certain skill. A gaslighter will dispute your ability or its utility. They might tell you it's a complete waste of time. They have the power to ruin your self-esteem. Number 10, they employ positive reinforcement to perplex you. A gaslighter wields power by putting you down and undervaluing your worth. They do, however, occasionally commend you on something. This is an extremely deceptive method for establishing authority, causing you to believe that if someone's praise is acceptable, then their criticism must also be valid. This keeps you off balance since you may believe you can no longer accuse them of continually finding fault. What they are praising is one way to spot a gaslighter. It is usually something to their advantage. 11th, they project onto you. Projection is a form of defense. People use it to blame others for their own terrible behavior or character. You will be accused of lying if you accuse a gaslighter of lying. Instead of focusing on their actions, you are now forced to protect yourself. They wear you down. Number 12. Gaslighting is not a one-time occurrence. Gaslighters employ their tactics over an extended period of time. It may begin in little doses, but if a gaslighter gets away with it, it will become more often. Even the most self-assured and knowledgeable people can be brought down by gaslighting because they are unable to recognize the point at which it becomes damaging. Now that you've got a better idea of how gaslighting works, here's how to combat it. Learn to recognize this type of behavior pattern. Gaslighting is only successful when people are unaware that it is taking place. You will be able to counteract the impact of a gaslighter if you can learn to recognize what they are doing. Recognize that gaslighting is not about you. Gaslighters do what they do to achieve power and influence. They require a sense of superiority. It's how they hide their insecurities from others and from themselves. They have to use gaslighting to prop up their own fragile egos since they are not genuinely superior than others. They are incapable of dealing with genuine criticism. Therefore, they must reject its legitimacy. Although it is unfortunate, there is no excuse for such harmful action. Recognize that you cannot change a gaslighter on your own. Their behavior evolved over time and has become an important part of how they interact with the surroundings. If you try to persuade them with logic, they will just deny its validity and question your sanity. The only effective solution is professional counseling. However, gaslighters, like addicts, must first recognize that they have a problem, determine whether it is worth the effort, determine whether it is worthwhile to keep your contact with the gaslighter. Consider creating some distance if you suspect one of your buddies is a gaslighter. If your supervisor is a gaslighter, you might consider changing jobs before he or she undermines your reputation or self-confidence. If you are in a love relationship with one and want to save it, insist on couples counseling. Build a support system. You need people in your life who know you and believe in your truth and self-esteem. Gaslighters work best when they can isolate you from others and hence control your reality. They frequently do this by claiming to be the only ones who truly care about you. Recognize that other people love and care about you. Seek for people who will encourage and reaffirm your sense of self-worth. Restore your self-esteem. Take a deep look at yourself and figure out what makes you worthy of love and respect. Remember times in your life when you accomplished something meaningful or had satisfying and happy relationships with people you cared about. Keeping a personal journal may also be beneficial. It can be used to document events that a gaslighter may later deny or twist to their advantage. If you require professional assistance, seek it. Victims of gaslighting frequently lose faith in themselves and their judgment. This process can jeopardize their health and even lead to depression. If you notice that you are experiencing such symptoms, you should consider seeking professional help, as recovering from the effects of gaslighting can be difficult, especially on your own. A qualified therapist can offer you the assistance and support you require. Have you ever noticed someone you know engaging in this type of psychological manipulation? Please leave your views and comments in the section below. If you love this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends so that we can continue to make them. Subscribe to our channel and remember to click the notification bell for more videos like this. Also, make sure to check out our other videos. Thank you for tuning in.